First contact in the ice. The Antarctic Research Station, Echo 7, shuddered against the endless night's howling winds. Dr. Maya Patel adjusted her thermal goggles, watching as the deep ice radar continued its methodical scan of the 2-mile-deep shaft they'd spent the last 8 months drilling. The readings made no sense. They hadn't for weeks. "Another anomaly spike, Doctor," called out Dr. Victor Rossi from his monitoring station. "Whatever's down there, it's definitely not a meteorite." He pushed his silver-rimmed glasses up his nose, frost already forming on the lenses despite the station's heating. Maya nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the primary display. The object they'd detected was perfectly spherical, approximately 20 meters in diameter, and embedded in ice that had remained undisturbed for millions of years. More importantly, it was emanating energy patterns that defied every known law of physics. "Core temperature holding at 15 degrees Celsius, reported Sarah Chen, their thermodynamics expert. "It's been maintaining that temperature despite being surrounded by ice for who knows how long. That's impossible." The international scientific community had dismissed their initial findings as equipment malfunction. That changed when the object started broadcasting. The signals were weak but unambiguous, patterns too precise to be natural, too complex to be Earthborn. Colonel James Martinez, the military liaison assigned to Echo 7, stepped forward from his usual position in the corner. "The Pentagon's concerned about these energy spikes. They're getting stronger." As if responding to his words, the main display flickered. The radar image shifted, showing the sphere's surface beginning to pulse with a soft, ethereal light that penetrated 2 miles of solid ice. "My God," breathed Victor. "It's awakening." The next 48 hours transformed human history. As international teams rushed to the station, the sphere's message became clear. It was a gift, or perhaps a test, left by an ancient species called the predecessors. They had seeded the galaxy with their technology, placing artifacts on worlds that showed promise, waiting for civilizations advanced enough to find them. But the gift came with a warning. The predecessors hadn't vanished by choice. They had fallen to something they called the Void Hunters, entities that sought out and destroyed advanced civilizations, leaving only silence in their wake. The sphere was more than a message. It was a key to humanity's survival. As Maya studied the initial data streams, she realized the sphere wasn't just giving them technology. It was giving them a choice. The predecessors had seen something unique in humanity, a potential that set them apart. The sphere's technology couldn't simply be replicated. It had to be understood, integrated, and transformed through human innovation. "Look at these patterns," Maya explained to the assembled team. "They're not blueprints, they're frameworks. The predecessors left us principles, not products. They want us to develop this technology our way." The sphere's data showed glimpses of incredible possibilities. Ships that could fold space, weapons that could reshape reality, shields that could withstand the fury of a star. But each revelation came with a price. The technology would only work if humanity found its own path to implementing it. As the first month of study drew to a close, Maya made a breakthrough. The sphere's energy patterns weren't random. They matched human brainwave patterns during moments of creativity and inspiration. The predecessors hadn't chosen Earth by chance. They had recognized that human consciousness itself was the key to unlocking their technology's true potential. But time was running out. The sphere's awakening had sent ripples through space-time, ripples that the Void Hunters would eventually detect. Humanity needed to understand and implement the predecessor's gift before that happened, or Earth would become just another silent tomb in an uncaring cosmos. The race against extinction had begun. The Neural Bridge. 3 months after the Antarctica discovery, the Global Defense Initiative's primary research facility in Geneva buzzed with activity. Maya stood before a wall of holographic displays, watching another failed attempt to interface with the sphere's technology. "Neural synchronization failed," announced Dr. Chen, now heading the biomechanical integration team. "The quantum matrices just won't align with our synthetic systems." Maya rubbed her temples, fighting exhaustion. They'd made progress understanding the sphere's basic principles, but implementation remained frustratingly out of reach. Traditional computers, no matter how advanced, couldn't properly channel the sphere's energy. Even quantum systems failed to maintain stable connections. Colonel Martinez, recently promoted to oversee the military applications, paced behind them. The Chinese and Russians are threatening to withdraw from the initiative. They think we're holding back crucial information. We're holding back nothing, Maya replied, studying the latest failure data. The sphere isn't just giving us technology. It's teaching us how to evolve beyond our current limitations. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Victor Rossi had been running parallel experiments with human test subjects, measuring their brainwave patterns while they interacted with small pieces of sphere-derived technology. The results were extraordinary. "Look at this," Victor called out, pulling up his latest data. "When our volunteers enter certain mental states, particularly during moments of intense creativity or problem-solving, their neural patterns naturally synchronize with the sphere's energy frequency." Maya leaned forward, excitement building. "The predecessors didn't just leave us technology. They left us a path to transcend our current evolution. The sphere's not a library. It's a catalyst." The next wave of experiments focused on human technology integration. They discovered that human consciousness could serve as a natural quantum processor, capable of interfacing with the sphere's technology in ways artificial systems never could. The human mind's capacity for imagination and innovation wasn't a barrier to using the predecessor's technology. It was the key. But the implications went deeper. As they began successfully building the first prototype systems, they realized the sphere's gifts weren't just about weapons and ships. The predecessors had recognized humanity's greatest strength, our ability to think beyond conventional boundaries, to imagine solutions that even they hadn't considered. "Each human operator approaches the technology differently," Sarah explained, showing readings from their first successful tests. "The sphere's systems adapt to individual thought patterns, creating unique configurations we never could have designed artificially." The first major test came when they attempted to power up a small prototype vessel built using sphere-derived principles. Traditional pilots, trained to follow rigid protocols, failed to achieve stable operation. But when they brought in a young engineer known for her unconventional problem-solving approaches, everything changed. The ship didn't just power up. It evolved, its systems reconfiguring in response to the pilot's creative approach to spatial navigation. The predecessor's technology wasn't meant to be used according to strict guidelines. It was meant to grow and adapt through human innovation. As news of their success spread, the global community finally began to truly unite behind the project. The sphere had given humanity something more valuable than mere technology. It had given them a way to transcend their limitations while remaining fundamentally human. But their progress hadn't gone unnoticed. Deep space monitoring stations began detecting anomalous signals at the edge of the solar system. The Void Hunters were coming, drawn by humanity's first steps toward claiming their cosmic legacy. The real test was about to begin. Fleet rising. The shipyards of Luna Base Alpha stretched across the moon's sea of tranquility, a testament to humanity's determination to survive. 6 months after the successful prototype tests, the first full-scale vessels of Earth's defense fleet were taking shape. Maya watched through the observation dome as construction drones swarmed around the skeletal frame of what would become the flagship, Prometheus. "Beautiful, isn't she?" Colonel Martinez stood beside her, his reflection ghosting against the reinforced glass. 2 kilometers of humanity's best innovation, powered by technology we barely understood half a year ago. The ships weren't just weapons platforms. They were living proof of humanity's ability to adapt and evolve. Each vessel incorporated sphere-derived technology, but with distinctly human innovations. The neural integration systems allowed crews to connect with their ships on an almost spiritual level, creating a symbiotic relationship between human consciousness and advanced technology. "Neural synchronization tests are exceeding expectations," Dr. Chen reported, joining them at the window. The crew selection program has identified over 3,000 individuals with exceptional integration potential. They had discovered that certain humans showed a natural affinity for the sphere's technology. Artists, musicians, theoretical physicists, and even children often displayed the strongest neural compatibility. The rigid thinking that had once defined military and scientific advancement was giving way to a new paradigm, where creativity and intuition were paramount. The Prometheus's first major systems test drew observers from every major nation. As the massive vessel's quantum core hummed to life, its hull began to shimmer with patterns of energy that mirrored its crew's collective consciousness. The ship wasn't just responding to commands. It was learning, adapting, becoming something more than the sum of its parts. Energy efficiency at 200% of projected values, Victor announced from his monitoring station. The quantum matrices are actually improving themselves through interaction with the crew's neural patterns. But the fleet's development wasn't proceeding in isolation. All across Earth, the sphere's influence was catalyzing a technological and cultural renaissance. The principles behind the predecessor's technology were revolutionizing everything from medical science to environmental restoration. Humanity was growing, evolving, preparing itself for its new role in the cosmos. Maya's team had also made progress understanding the Void Hunters. The sphere's historical records painted a chilling picture, a force that consumed civilizations not just physically, but culturally, technologically, and spiritually. They didn't simply destroy, they erased, leaving nothing but entropy in their wake. Latest deep space telemetry, Martine said, handing Maya a data tablet. The anomalous signals are getting stronger. Multiple sources now, moving with purpose. The Void Hunters weren't just coming, they were hunting. Each technological advancement, each successful test of the fleet's capabilities, sent ripples through space-time that drew them closer. But humanity couldn't afford to wait. The sphere had shown them glimpses of possible futures, triumph or extinction, with no middle ground. As the first wave of ships neared completion, a new discovery in the sphere's data archives shed light on why the predecessors had chosen humanity. It wasn't just their potential for creative thinking or their adaptability. The predecessors had recognized in humans a unique combination of traits: the ability to unite in the face of extinction, the courage to face impossible odds, and most importantly, the willingness to fight not just for survival, but for the right to determine their own destiny. The fleet would carry humanity's hopes, dreams, and indomitable spirit to the stars. But first, they would have to survive their baptism of fire. The Void Hunters were coming, and with them, a test of everything humanity had become. As Maya watched the Prometheus's quantum drive flash like a newborn star, she understood that the real challenge wasn't mastering the predecessor's technology. It was proving worthy of the trust they had placed in humanity's potential. The question was, would it be enough? Shadow in the void. The Prometheus's bridge hummed with tension as it led Earth's first defensive fleet past the orbit of Neptune. 9 ships, each carrying the hopes of humanity, moving in perfect formation through the outer solar system. Maya stood at her station beside Captain Sarah Chen, now commanding the flagship after proving herself the strongest neural integrator in the fleet. The first sign of the Void Hunters came as a distortion in spacetime, a ripple in reality that set every sensor screaming. The fleet's quantum cores pulsed in response, their crews instinctively tightening their neural connections with their ships. Multiple contacts, announced Victor from his science station, his voice steady despite the fear evident in his eyes. 3. No, 5 vessels. Configuration unknown. They're like nothing in the sphere's database. The Void Hunters had evolved, adapted, become something even the predecessors hadn't anticipated. Through the ship's neural interface, Maya felt the collective intake of breath from every crew member as the enemy vessels came into visual range. They were darkness given form, geometric shapes that seemed to absorb not just light but reality itself. Where the human fleet shimmered with the living energy of their quantum cores, these ships radiated anti-life, their very presence an affront to existence. "They're scanning us," Chen reported, her hands dancing over the neural interface controls. "The sphere's defensive protocols are adapting. But these entities, they're probing for weaknesses we didn't even know we had." The first attack came without warning. A beam of pure entropy lanced out from the lead hunter vessel, aimed at the Prometheus's heart. But humanity had learned well from the predecessor's gift. The ship's quantum shields didn't just deflect the attack. They transformed it, the crew's collective consciousness instinctively reshaping the enemy's weapon into harmless energy. "That's impossible," one of the hunter vessels transmitted, the message somehow conveying both surprise and rage in its cold, mechanical tone. "Your technology is predecessor, but this implementation, what are you?" "We are humanity," Chen responded, her voice carrying the weight of every soul aboard. "And we are not your prey." The battle that followed would be remembered as humanity's first true test in cosmic warfare. The Void Hunters attacked with weapons designed to unravel reality itself, but each human ship responded differently, their crew's unique neural patterns creating unpredictable and innovative defensive strategies. The Prometheus danced through space like a living thing, its movements guided by Chen's intuitive understanding of spatial dynamics. Other ships in the fleet displayed equally distinctive styles, the Hyperion using its quantum fields to phase through attacks, the Helios turning enemy fire back upon itself through creative manipulation of space-time. But the true surprise came when Maya noticed a pattern in the neural feedback data. "The ships are talking to each other," she announced. "Not just ship-to-ship communication. The crew's neural networks are forming a collective consciousness across the entire fleet." This was something even the sphere hadn't predicted. Human minds, linked through predecessor technology, were achieving a level of coordination and creativity that transcended individual capability. The fleet moved as one organism, each ship complementing the others in ways that no tactical computer could have calculated. The Void Hunters, for the first time in their ancient existence, found themselves facing an enemy they couldn't predict. Their weapons of entropy met shields that adapted and evolved. Their tactical algorithms faced human intuition enhanced by technology, but not replaced by it. As the battle reached its climax, 3 hunter vessels had been disabled, their crews seemingly shocked into inaction by the impossibility of what they faced. The remaining 2 retreated, vanishing into folds in space-time that human sensors could barely detect. But victory had come at a cost. 2 human ships were severely damaged, their crews strained by the unprecedented neural load of combat. More importantly, they had revealed their capabilities to an enemy that never truly ceased hunting. As the fleet regrouped for the return to Earth, Maya knew this had been only the beginning. The Void Hunters would return with greater numbers, adapted strategies, and a burning need to eliminate this new threat to their dominion over space. But humanity had proven something extraordinary, not just to their enemy, but to themselves. The predecessor's faith in human potential had been vindicated. Through the neural interfaces, Maya could feel the crew's exhaustion, but also their pride and determination. They had faced humanity's greatest threat and emerged stronger. The real war was about to begin. Thunder of Humanity. 3 months after humanity's first encounter with the Void Hunters, Earth's orbital platforms detected a massive distortion approaching from deep space. Maya stood in the Prometheus's command center, watching as the tactical display filled with hundreds of hunter signatures. This wasn't a probe or a skirmish. It was an extinction fleet. "All vessels reporting ready," Chen announced from her captain's position, neural interfaces humming with power. Earth's defense fleet had grown to 30 ships, each crew now veterans of smaller conflicts with hunter scout forces. The neural network is stable across all ships. Colonel Martinez, commanding the support vessel Aegis, appeared on the main display. Ground-based defenses are online. Every quantum core on Earth and Luna is linked to the fleet network. We're as ready as we'll ever be. The Void Hunters emerged from their space-time distortions like a wave of darkness, their ships having evolved into even more impossible geometries. Leading them was a vessel that dwarfed all others, its surface constantly shifting between states of matter and energy. "We have studied your aberration," the Hunter flagship transmitted. "Your corruption of predecessor technology ends today. Your consciousness will be archived, your potential calculated, and your existence optimized." Through the neural network, Maya felt the response of every human connected to the system. Not just the fleet crews, but the billions on Earth linked through the quantum cores. Humanity's collective consciousness surged through the predecessor technology, transforming it in ways its creators had never imagined. The battle began with a display of power meant to break humanity's spirit. The Hunter flagship unleashed a weapon that began unwriting the laws of physics within the solar system. But humanity had been preparing for this moment. Every quantum core on Earth and in the fleet pulsed in unison, their energy guided by human minds working in perfect harmony. "They don't understand," Maya realized, watching as the Hunter weapon dissipated against humanity's collective defense. "They see our creativity as an aberration because they can't comprehend consciousness that evolves rather than optimizes." The human fleet moved with impossible coordination, each ship's actions enhanced by the neural link to Earth's billions. Artists reshaped quantum fields into defensive patterns that defied prediction. Musicians guided energy flows with symphonic precision. Children's unbridled imagination created strategies that left the Hunters' tactical computers in loops of confusion. But the Hunters were ancient and powerful. They pressed their attack with devastating force, their weapons tearing reality itself. Ships on both sides fell, their crews fighting to the last neural pulse. The void between Earth and Mars became a graveyard of broken vessels and shattered space-time. The turning point came when Maya detected a pattern in the Hunter flagship's energy signature. "Their weapons aren't just destroying," she transmitted through the neural network. "They're consuming, converting everything into pure information. But information can be rewritten." Chen finished, understanding flowing through the collective consciousness. Every human mind linked to the network grasped the concept simultaneously. The Hunters weren't gods of entropy. They were the ultimate expression of rigid, optimized thinking. The Prometheus led the counterattack, its quantum core pulsing with the combined creative energy of billions of human minds. As the Hunters fired their weapons, the human fleet didn't just defend. They caught the entropy beams, their crew's consciousness reshaping the very nature of the attack. "Impossible," the Hunter flagship broadcasted as its weapons were turned back upon itself, transformed by human consciousness into something new. "You cannot rewrite the fundamental." "We're not rewriting fundamentals," Maya transmitted back. "We're imagining new ones." The battle reached its crescendo as humanity's collective consciousness, channeled through the predecessor technology, created something unprecedented. The quantum cores didn't just power shields or weapons. They began reshaping reality itself, guided by humanity's boundless capacity to envision new possibilities. The Hunter fleet, faced with an enemy that could turn their own weapons of entropy into tools of creation, began to break apart. Their rigid, optimized tactics couldn't adapt to humanity's constant evolution. Ship after ship fell silent, their crews confronted with a form of existence they couldn't process. As the Hunter flagship made its final attempt to reach Earth, the combined human fleet executed a maneuver that would have been impossible for any single crew. 30 ships moved as one, their quantum cores harmonizing with every human mind on Earth. The resulting surge of energy didn't destroy the Hunter flagship, it transformed it, turning its entropy-based technology into a cascade of pure creation. The remaining Hunter vessels fled, their retreat marked by confusion rather than fear. They had encountered something beyond their capacity to categorize or control, a species that didn't just use technology, but grew with it, transformed it, and made it truly their own. In the battle's aftermath, as the fleet regrouped around Earth's orbit, Maya understood what the predecessors had seen in humanity. Not just the potential for advancement, but the ability to transcend advancement itself. Humanity would never be content to simply use technology. They would always reshape it, reimagine it, and in doing so, reshape themselves. The sphere's gift hadn't just been technology or knowledge. It had been an invitation to become something more, to prove that consciousness itself was the most powerful force in the universe. The Void Hunters had sought to optimize existence, to reduce it to calculable patterns. Humanity had shown them, and themselves, that true power lay in the ability to imagine patterns that had never existed before. As the quantum cores pulsed with the afterglow of victory, Maya felt the collective consciousness of humanity already turning toward the future. The stars awaited, not just as places to explore, but as canvas for human creativity and innovation. The predecessor's legacy had found its true inheritors, and the universe would never be the same. The thunder of humanity's potential had only begun to echo through the cosmos.